Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Devin Lay, and we're at the Culture is Viral channel. We're watching YouTube, finna watch a video. It's complicated. I don't even remember the name of this thing, but it's finna go crazy, okay? The hoflation, like it's complicated. If you know, you know. We're gonna see what happened, okay? Let's tap in. I ain't gonna say too much.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Yes.
Why?
Because you ain't got to be worried about the police coming after you if you want to buy some pussy.
The men that come to Las Vegas and they think every woman prostitute. You know, if you're out here in your dress, you're prostitute. So they treat you like trash. They talk to you like trash. They tell you trashy stuff because automatically you're a prostitute. So absolutely not, no, it wouldn't.
I actually think it would solve a lot of society's problems. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I do think it would be solving a lot of society's problems. It would be solving so much sex trafficking, male trafficking, child trafficking, like so much things would actually be solved if this actually got legalized.
Personally, do I want to do it? I mean, no. But does it bring down the price? Does it bring down the value? It does. And it brings down the value on other women. And that's the problem. You know, that's a solution. But like with us, it's like as men, we pay too much. We go through too much, and it's the truth.
Why is porn legal but prostitution isn't?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, what's the difference between being paid for sex and being paid for sex in front of a camera?
Some way, some company can own it, own the rights, and stream it the right way, and be able to, you know.
Why is it okay for you to be a porn star, but it's not okay for you to be a prostitute? I don't get that. Honestly, I don't.
If prostitution was legal, what do you think would happen to OnlyFans?
It would go down the drain. We wouldn't want to pay to see it if we could go get the real thing.
Do you believe that lonely, sexless men are more likely to be violent, and if so, why?
Yes, because they got a lot of pressure built up.
Them the most calmest ones. They sitting in the crib, playing their video games, beating their meat, eating their Cheetos, you know, just kicking it, being fat, cool guys at the crib, you know.
That's crazy, though. Like, when you really be looking at it, though, that's what it seems like. The real chill folks who like paying for OnlyFans and shit like that, like I don't think them niggas is school shooters. I think it's like the folks who they trying but they just can't get there. You know what I mean? So like they feel like they hitting a brick wall. But if you never try, why would you ever be like, let me go do something crazy?
I'm just saying I can't judge nobody, you feel me? Because hey, I probably was that at one time, you know.
So if prostitution was cheap and accessible, do you think there would be less sexual violence?
Yes.
If so, would you be in support of making that possible despite the fact that it objectifies women?
No.
Why?
Because.
Don't you want to live in a safer society?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I wouldn't do it, but I mean, everybody can do their own thing, whatever.
I'm not saying you have to do it, but I'm just saying, why wouldn't you just support it being an option?
Most women don't like being considered prostitutes, so I think the labels kind of turn women off.
You have a lot of tension built up that you need to release sexually, you know, and if you don't have a partner for that, or at least access to, you know, some kind of open sexual relationship you can get into, then you're going to be probably more hostile and on edge, I believe.
So if prostitution was cheap and accessible, do you think there would be less sexual violence?
I do. Less sexual violence? Absolutely, 100%.
If so, would you be in support of making that possible despite the fact that it objectifies women?
I think that even if it was legal, it would still be their choice, so I don't think it objectifies women.
Hoflation is a term which describes the increase in price men have to pay for lower value women. Men have more competition than ever, women have more options than ever. In essence, dating has now become a luxury commodity, and the only option is for men to step their game up. Why should men be expected to bring more to the table than they ever have in order to please women who bring less to the table than they ever have?
Because that's just how it is. I don't know. Men are supposed to be providers. If they have to bring more to the table, it's just because that's the society we live in today. Things cost more nowadays.
And how's that working out for us?
Barely.
Why should men be expected to bring more to the table than they ever have in order to please women who bring less to the table than they ever have?
We shouldn't have to. I think women need to start lowering their standards and men need to start raising their standards. or we just gonna be sitting there.
Facts, facts.
It's gonna be a horrible society.
If most men are average and women's standards are delusional, why isn't prostitution a more practical solution than telling men to all become high value?
Well, I mean, I think that is what, like, if you're a low value man and that's what you got to do, then yeah, I would, then, you know, resort to prostitution. But I feel like every man personally, you should work on yourself, you know, value yourself first, and then, you know, once you start chasing yourself, the women are gonna chase you.
If legalizing prostitution would be a game changer, why is it never talked about on any of these podcasts?
We talking about it now.
It's like everybody like it, but ain't nobody gonna talk about it.
Because they look at prostitutes as disgusting, horrible women, and they think of us as the very bare minimum. If you're a prostitute, you don't have nothing
Us.
to offer.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe people just scared of the subject. They probably not ready for it yet.
Could it be because they're pushing their own conservative agenda?
Yes.
These guys, they push their conservatism agenda so much. Like Andrew Tate, for instance, you know, I mean, he pushes that shit. He pushes it all the way. And when you do it all the way, you kind of got to, you know, disagree with prostitution being illegal because that's a libertarian, that's a liberal thing.
Do you think the solution could be prostitution, the world's oldest institution?
I think that you should have the right to do with what you want with your body, whether that's prostitution, you know, abortion, whatever it is. I think that, you know, to a certain extent, you should have, as long as it doesn't harm other human beings, then you should have rights to do whatever you want with your body.
Why is my body, my choice acceptable when it comes to abortion, but not when it comes to prostitution, the draft, or vaccine mandates?
Control, man. Just control. You know, I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but you know, like, there's a deeper purpose behind things. You know, they try to get us to fall in line, you know, at least to some extent, if it's going to line their pockets. And if it's not lining their agenda and it's not lining their pockets, then they're not going to back it, you know. And eventually one day when they can figure out a way for it to line their pockets, you know, it will be legal, you know, and they'll all act like they never were against it.
Wouldn't it end simping and shift the sexual marketplace to where women would have to compete for the men?
Yes, it would actually. It would very much so, because it would make it more accessible for men to get what they need.
I don't know if it would end simping.
Cause like, ain't women supposed to be the prize? So when would they be like fighting for men? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of weird. Like, I ain't never heard shit like that before.
But it would shift the marketplace.
You know, in some areas when you got like a lot of prostitutes in the corner, they kind of be, you know, in competition for the next, you know, the next big baller and all of that. So it's already kind of women in competition.
Why should men pay for the opportunity to maybe instead of just paying for sex?
Why not just pay for the sex? Why get a maybe?
If you really love this woman, if you really like this woman, this is really what you want, I think you should, you know, put the money into it and put the time into it. However, if it's just meaningless sex, or if it's just, you know, a conversation and it leads to sex, and you end up buying drinks and shit, I mean, it ain't worth it.
Wouldn't relationships be built on love rather than sex and manipulation?
Yes, relationships should be built on love and respect. 100%.
It revolves around manipulation. We read books. Nope. Men read books. Neil Strauss. You know, all these books about game, in the sense that we're trying to gain game and manipulate women to have sex, when in reality, we don't even want the love. We just want the sex. But it results in women falling in love because we're giving them the illusion of love. And then when we do that, you know, we don't really want love. And then when women really want love, all we have is sex for them. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of like a backwards game. It's crazy.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled?
I don't agree with it at all. That's kind of weird. I think relationships are built on like what you do for the other person. So like what you fulfill in that person's life. So like it's not always just love. Of course, that's one of the things. But like if I want kids and you don't want kids, the relationship will never work because you can't fulfill that for me, or vice versa. So I think it's deeper than just like love. That's kind of like a weird. I feel like it's just like a catch-up all phrase that people just say just cause type shit.
Filled and less angry and violent.
Yeah, actually, it would limit so much emotional and actual physical abuse.
if you're depending on sex to make you feel better or another person or anything, then that just shows that, you know, you're not working on your spirit.
Wouldn't men be less pitted against each other to compete for women?
Yes, there is so much war between men trying to get the same girl. It's insane.
The competition, like I said, it'll equal out the playing field. You know what I mean? So, like, we have the 1% and we have us. I'm not 1%. I'm not a multi-millionaire in the bank. I work on things and I do work hard, and I'm probably more than the average man, but you know what? Like, it would equal out the playing field. It would make it fair for all of us to play the same game.
Wouldn't it flood the market and drive down prices?
Yeah, actually, it would. It would. It would eliminate so much stuff like the black market.
Hoflation, right? Hoflation. So hoflation, you know, it would bring down the price. Supply and demand. It's a simple economics, you know, idea. So, yeah, of course.
We have the black market, sex trafficking, all genders, all ages now. Like, it's actually even scarier now. Before, it was safer. You had security guards. You had people protecting you. You had people making sure everything was going about the right way and the safe way.
Can you think of any reasons not to legalize it?
Really, no, I can't.
I think it's a drug. And I think the more you do the drug, the more you're going to be to it, the more you're going to be okay with it. And it creates a problem in certain people. If you have like an addictive personality or whatever, like you're going to keep doing it. And, you know, it might be a problem with your wife. You know, if you're having sex with hookers and you have a wife, I think that's a problem. Don't do that to your wife, bro.
What are your thoughts on the expression, every man pays for sex?
I agree.
You're going on a date and you have to spend your money for her to like you more. Some people don't do that. I got guys that don't do nothing for no females. Nothing. You hear me? And they still giving that cat up.
Well, we all pay for sex. And if it's not money, it's investment. Or you know what it is? It's me working as hard as I can to be able to provide for a woman. You know, just to be able to be the best person I can be so she can keep around, you know, stay with me. Or be able to, like, not run away with my kids. And be like, hey, this is a good man, I can stay with him. And if it's not, you know, paying for it, like, you know, with actual, like, hey, me swiping a card, it's me working in the gym, it's me working 2 jobs, it's me working 3 jobs, it's me working my ass off just so I can, you know, maintain a family.
Every woman pays for sex in a way too. You could that expression could go both ways. Whether it's not money, it could not be money, but you know, I mean, at the end of the day, when they go to bed and at night and they slept with 10 men this week, you know, it's like it's a lot more degrading for them. They probably feel that a lot more than I would if I banged 10 chicks this week. That's just being honest, you know.
Is it generally true that men seek the hottest woman they can afford, while women seek the richest man they can attract?
Yes.
Don't men want trophy wives and women want sugar daddies?
Yes.
So how is dating not already just a loose form of prostitution?
It is a loose form of prostitution.
So then why would we not just legalize it?
You got me. You got a good point.
It's a loose form of prostitution. Maybe it is, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Why is it often said that prostitution...
Bro, they look so, like, sad as they're going through the realization. That's crazy. Like, yeah. That's wild, though.
Prostitution is the world's oldest profession.
Because women been exchanging sex for goods since the beginning of time.
Because it is, actually. It used to be legalized. It used to be okay. It's actually, I'm pretty sure, okay in some other states and countries.
I'm not big in the Bible, but, you know, I'm not very religious. But the Bible was what I grew up on, and they told me that was the first job ever created. Because men have a need. And when they have a need, they'll pay for it. So if there's one need that we all have, we fight wars for, we work jobs for, it's for sex, to be real, you know?
Or maybe resources.
Nah, man, it'd be sex.
Resources to get sex.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you make money to get sex, bro. Like, that's how it goes. You fight wars, you do these things to get sex. And, you know, pussy is the most important thing to a man. And I'm gonna be real with you. It might be your kids, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't have no kids if it wasn't for that one thing.
If men have always been in power, why would a man make the law that prostitution should be illegal?
I don't know, maybe they were manipulated by a woman. Maybe they were told that it was wrong. But if you really think about it and you really think about the points and the keys here, is it really wrong?
If men have always been in power, why would a man make the law that prostitution should be illegal?
Well, I feel like men want to make other men weaker to make things easier for them.
Why is my body, my choice acceptable when it comes to abortion, but not when it comes to prostitution, the draft, or vaccine mandates?
Because society has deemed women in control, and it seems like they're making these rules up as they go.
That's crazy. They end it like that. Nah, that was a good one. It's complicated. That seemed like a really dope episode. Tap in. Let me know if y'all want to see another one. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Tell me what y'all think about it. You know, if we should drop another episode, and then email at devin@developmarketing.com. Hit it. Send me any of your videos you're thinking about I should react to. Hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend. Peace out.